Discover the incredible moment a single dad revealed to a CEO's paralyzed daughter. Hidden joy awaits. Jack stood at the fair's entrance, his heart racing. The smell of buttery popcorn filled the air, mingling with the sweet scent of cotton candy. He glanced down at Mia, her eyes wide with wonder, sparkling like the bright lights that surrounded them. Despite the challenges they had faced, she radiated joy. Today, in this moment, nothing else mattered. Jack had been working 2 jobs, sunup to sundown, just to scrape together enough for this day, and it was worth every second. Mia, spirited and full of life, had been paralyzed in a tragic accident that could have dimmed anyone's spirit. Yet her laughter echoed through the fairgrounds, drawing the attention of others, including Clara, the daughter of the wealthiest CEO in town. Jack watched as Mia and Clara connected instantly, sharing stories and giggles, worlds colliding in a whirl of innocence that made Jack's heart swell. As they moved from ride to ride, Mia's laughter filled Jack with a bittersweet sense of pride. She had turned their grief into a canvas of color, a testament to resilience. But uncertainty loomed. What would happen tomorrow when they returned to their small apartment, leaving behind the magic of the fair? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications, so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The gala invitation arrived unexpectedly. Clara's father had asked Mia to showcase her art, a rare opportunity. Jack felt a mix of pride and deep-rooted fear. Would the town's elite accept Mia, or would they view her as an outsider? His heart wrestled with the stark realities of their lives. As they prepared for the gala, Mia beamed with excitement, her energy infectious. Jack smiled as he helped her choose an outfit, but beneath the surface, insecurity gnawed at him. Would people see her talent, or judge her by her chair? That night, as they entered the grand hall, Jack's heart raced. The opulent surroundings seemed foreign, a world where they didn't belong. When Clara took the stage, speaking passionately about Mia, Jack's chest tightened. Her words about overcoming obstacles lit a fire in his heart. Just as it seemed everyone held their breath in anticipation of Mia's reveal, the atmosphere thickened. A silence born of uncertainty lingered in the air. Jack's hands trembled, gripped tight around the microphone as he prepared to speak. He wanted them to hear his story and Mia's truth. Would they embrace Mia's art born of pain and beauty? Would he have the courage to cast aside his fears and stand for his daughter, in front of the world? As tension built, Jack glanced at Mia, and saw her with a fierce light, ready to share herself with the world. This was their moment. Would they seize it, or let it slip away? The story hung precariously at the edge of revelation, poised to explode into hope or fade into the shadows. Jack's heart pounded like a drum as the audience settled into a hushed anticipation. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of both fear and love. The spotlight danced around the room, creating a golden halo that seemed to glimmer just for Mia. He looked at her. She was glowing, her excitement contagious even amidst the uncertainty. Everyone. Clara's voice rang clear. This is Mia. She's not just my friend, she's a force of nature. The room erupted in soft applause, their voices blending into a hum of curiosity. Jack's stomach flipped. He had imagined this moment countless times, but it was happening, and all he could think about was protecting Mia from judgment. He stood at the side, feeling the tension weave around them like a thick fog. As she rolled up to the easel showcasing her artwork, a hush fell over the crowd. The piece was a swirl of vibrant colors representing her journey, pain, and hope in a single canvas. Tears pricked Jack's eyes. She had poured herself into it, every brush stroke a reflection of her spirit. Mia took a deep breath and began speaking, her voice slightly trembling but growing stronger with each word. This piece is called Flight. It represents how I feel when I paint. It lifts me, soaring high above all my challenges. Her eyes sparkled with passion, and Jack couldn't help but feel pride swell in his chest. The whispers from the crowd began, a soft buzz of admiration punctuated by occasional gasps. Jack felt the barriers that held them apart start to dissolve. People were seeing Mia, not just a girl in a wheelchair. They were witnessing her talent, her heart. But then, a voice broke through. "What does she know about soaring?" A woman sneered from the back, her expression scornful. Jack's heart sank. A wave of shame washed over him. Mia's moment felt threatened as Jack clenched his fists, ready to defend her. Instead, Mia paused, her gaze steady and fierce. "I may not be able to run or dance like others, but I can create beauty." The strength in her words cut through the negativity. Jack's breath caught as the crowd began to shift. They were leaning in, captivated by her courage. He glanced around and saw faces soften, expressions changing. Perhaps Mia was showing them more than just art, maybe she was revealing a deeper truth. With each word, she dismantled the walls of prejudice. Applause erupted again, and this time it felt different, powerful, sincere. Jack's heart soared, a mix of relief and pride. He turned to Clara, who was beaming, her eyes glistening. "See? She's amazing." "Yes, she is," Jack replied, his voice thick with emotion. The evening unfolded beautifully, filled with laughter and genuine admiration for Mia's artwork. Conversation sparked around them, seeds of connection planted in a place that had once felt intimidating and unwelcoming. As the night wore on, Jack felt a shift inside him. Maybe they didn't need to fit into a world that seemed out of reach. They were crafting their own space, and with each connection they made, the fear that gripped him began to loosen. But just as they were settling into this newfound acceptance, a tall figure approached. It was Clara's father, the CEO. "Can I talk to you both for a moment?" His tone was serious, making Jack's heart race again. What did this confrontation mean? Would he jeopardize the joy Mia had just created? As Jack and Mia exchanged looks of uncertainty, a wave of tension washed over them. This encounter could very well change everything. Would it be another moment of judgment, or the bridge to a future they both dreamed of? Jack took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to face whatever came next. Jack's pulse raced in the silence that followed the CEO's words. He took a step forward, feeling the weight of responsibility settle in his chest. Mia, beside him, shifted in her chair, her expression a mix of hope and apprehension. Clara's father loomed large, a presence that commanded respect, and Jack feared what this conversation might bring. "Sure, we can talk," Jack said, his voice steady, but inside he was churning. He glanced at Mia, searching for reassurance. She gave him a small nod, her unwavering resilience brightening the room around them. "Let us step outside," the CEO suggested, gesturing toward the patio where the moonlight bathed the gathering in a serene glow. Jack felt Mia's hand brush against his as they moved, a comforting touch that pushed away his worries, if only for a moment. Once they were outside, the night air wrapped around them, cool and refreshing. Clara's father turned to them, his expression serious but not unkind. "I wanted to speak with you both because I've been watching the event unfold tonight," he began, his voice even. "Your artwork, Mia, it's impressive. But I need to know if you're serious about pursuing this art thing." Mia sat tall in her wheelchair, the light from above casting a gentle glow on her face. "This is my life, Mr. Peterson. This is how I express myself and connect with the world." Her conviction was palpable, and Jack felt a swell of pride. "I understand that," he replied, crossing his arms. "But you must also realize the challenges ahead. This industry isn't easy. It demands resilience," and Mia interrupted him, her passion cutting through the hesitation. "I know all about challenges. Every day is a challenge. But I've learned that art is my way of rising above them. I won't back down just because it's hard." The CEO seemed taken aback by her fire. Jack watched the man's brow froze slightly, processing her words. There was a shift in the air, like a crack in the wall of judgment. "I admire your spirit," he finally said, his voice softer. "But I also have a responsibility to my company. If I support you, I need to be sure it's not just a momentary spark. I have to protect my investments." At that moment, Jack felt a surge of protectiveness wash over him. Mia's more than an investment, sir. She's a voice that deserves to be heard. If you can't see that, then maybe it's you who's missing the point. The CEO looked at Jack, surprise flickering across his face. This wasn't the kind of response he expected. For a tense moment, the three of them stood in the moonlight, the weight of the conversation heavy in the air. Perhaps Mr. Peterson began, shifting his gaze to Mia. Perhaps I've been too focused on tradition. What if we work together to create a show? Something that not only showcases your art but tells your story? Jack felt the air thrum with possibility. Mia's eyes sparkled, a cascade of emotions crossing her face: fear, hope, disbelief. You would do that? She asked softly, almost afraid to voice her wish. Let us consider it, the CEO said with a hint of a smile. We can discuss the details and see what it will take. Jack felt his heart swell. This was a turning point. They had a chance to show the world that Mia's art was not just beautiful, it was transformative. As they walked back inside, Jack caught Mia's eye, and the depth of what lay ahead filled him with both excitement and dread. Would this be the bridge to a world that embraced them, or another door slammed shut? They entered the gallery, laughter and clinking glasses encompassing them. But amid that lively chatter, Jack felt a storm brewing inside him. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. There were battles to fight, doubts to squash, but for now they had a chance. Would Mia's story resonate deeply enough to change the hearts of those who only saw her wheelchair and not the artist? As they approached the crowd once more, a new song of determination played in Jack's heart. But just as they stepped into the thrumming atmosphere, a figure emerged from the shadows, a tall man, with a familiar face and an unexpected agenda. Would he prove to be friend or foe? Jack's heart raced as the figure moved closer. It was Tim, an old acquaintance, and someone who had shared a few late-night laughs and heartfelt talks over coffee back in their college days. Tim had always been a dreamer, bursting with ideas and optimism that sometimes bordered on reckless. But in this moment, Jack felt a chill run down his spine. Mia, Tim said, his voice booming as he approached, it's so good to see you. His smile didn't quite reach his eyes, and Jack narrowed his gaze, sensing something off-kilter. Tim, Mia said, her joy evident, but Jack could see a shadow of concern overshadowing her excitement. What are you doing here? Jack asked, trying to keep his tone light, but he didn't hide his skepticism. I heard about the showcase tonight, Tim replied, his gaze drifting towards the vibrant artworks that adorned the gallery walls. Figured I'd come support you, Mia. You know how passionate I am about your work. Mia beamed. Thanks. I didn't know you were interested in art. Interested? I'm obsessed. Tim laughed, but Jack noted the nervous edge in his demeanor. Actually, I have some connections I could leverage if you're looking to take things further. I've got a few ideas for your show that I think could really draw people in. What do you mean by that? Jack asked, his protective instincts surging. Well, Tim said, his enthusiasm bubbling over, I'm talking about marketing. I've learned a thing or two since college. I could help create a buzz, build a campaign around your story that really captures the audience. Jack glanced at Mia, who looked torn between excitement and caution. Tim, I don't want to rush this. I want it to be genuine, not just a gimmick. I get that, really, Tim said, his tone shifting as he stepped closer. But sometimes to get noticed, you need a little spectacle. I know you're not about that, Mia, but drawing attention could actually give your art the platform it deserves. Mia's brow furrowed, and Jack sensed her unease. It's not about the spectacle for me. It's about the connection in the work. Of course, Tim backpedaled, his eyes darting nervously. But you have to think big. You could really make an impact. Jack couldn't shake a feeling that Tim wasn't just there to help. The way he looked at Mia, the fire in his eyes, something was building beneath the surface. It felt ambitious, maybe even a little desperate, and Jack didn't like it. Just then, Mr. Peterson joined them, sensing the tension. Is everything all right here? He asked, a hint of concern on his face. We were just discussing ideas for the show, Jack said, the words slipping out like a guarded shot. He want to come off as hostile but chose to stand tall for Mia. Tim here has some thoughts on marketing. Mr. Peterson studied Tim closely. Well, innovation is a valuable aspect of any presentation, as long as it aligns with Mia's vision, he stated firmly, shifting his gaze to Mia. What do you think? Mia opened her mouth to respond, then hesitated, her glance bouncing between the two men. Jack felt her inner conflict. I want to stay true to my art, she finally said, her voice steady. I don't want to lose that message just for the sake of flash. Tim's face fell slightly, and Jack felt a flicker of satisfaction, but it was fleeting. The weight of the stakes pressed down on him heavily. Did they want to transform Mia's art into mere entertainment, or showcase its deep meaning? In that moment, Jack realized what was at stake didn't just concern Mia's show. It was about who they were willing to become in the face of pressure. He looked at Mia, whose expression was a mix of determination and fear, and he silently willed her to stick to her guns. But would she withstand the concoction of ambition and uncertainty swirling around them? As laughter erupted from a nearby group, Jack caught Tim's eye. Let us talk later, shall we? He said coolly, wanting to defuse Tim's fervor. Sure, Tim replied, but there was a glimmer of resentment, and Jack felt that this encounter was only the beginning of bigger struggles that lay ahead. What would happen next? Would they stand together, or would individual ambitions pull them apart? The future hung in the balance like a delicate thread, and Jack couldn't shake the feeling that the hardest battles were yet to come. Jack felt the air grow thicker as the conversation shifted. Tim's smile faded, replaced with an edge that only intensified his anxiety. Mia's art was vulnerable, a reflection of her soul, and carrying it under the harsh spotlight of ambition suddenly felt more daunting. Jack could see the flicker of uncertainty dance in Mia's eyes, and he wished he could shield her from this storm. Why don't we grab some drinks? Jack suggested, trying to steer them away from this unsettling topic. There's a bar nearby. We can chat there without anyone eavesdropping. Mia glanced at Tim hesitantly. Do you mind, Tim? Oh no, not at all, Tim replied, his enthusiasm dim but still eager. I'll just be right behind you two. Gotta grab the energy for this exciting conversation. The forced cheerfulness in his tone sent another chill down Jack's spine. As they walked towards the bar, Jack felt the need to create distance, to protect Mia from any more of Tim's grand ideas. You alright? He asked softly, catching Mia's gaze. I don't know, Jack. I thought he'd just come to support me, she admitted, biting her lip. But it feels different. It feels like he's after something bigger than me. Yeah, Jack nodded, his fingers brushing against hers in a reassuring gesture. Just remember, it's your art. Tim's ideas might sound flashy, but they're not what matters. Stay true to your vision. Mia offered a small smile, grateful for his support. Thanks. I appreciate you saying that. It's hard sometimes, you know? The pressure to be seen, to make a splash. Seen or not, your message is what counts. It's what will resonate, Jack assured her as they stepped up to the bar. While they ordered drinks, Jack noticed him loitering nearby, tapping his foot impatiently. Even from a distance, Jack could sense his anxiety. He might have been their friend once, but something felt different now. This wasn't the Tim who laughed over coffee years ago, eager to share hopes and dreams. There was a sense of urgency about him, almost as if he was banking everything on Mia's success. As they turned their backs from the bar, drinks in hand, Tim erupted with energy again. So, what do you think about creating a video campaign? Something that captures your story, Mia? It could go viral. Imagine people sharing your art across social media. Jack's heart sank. We're not looking to go viral, Tim. We're looking for depth. Authenticity. The last word hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Yeah, but authenticity can be so boring. Tim shrugged, a smirk playing at the corner of his mouth. You need something that'll make people stop scrolling. Mia's discomfort turned palpable. Jack looked at her, frustration surging. You know who you are, Mia. Don't let Tim's words shake you. Right, Mia said, her voice steadier now. I appreciate the support, Tim, but I want to stay true to my art and the emotions it conveys. The tension increased. Tim took a step back. Fine, but don't say I didn't offer you great exposure. Sometimes you have to play the game to win. His voice dropped, dripping with challenge. Play the game or play your own? There's a difference, Jack shot back, confronting Tim's pressure head-on. Mia squeezed Jack's hand, her heart racing not with fear but a budding resolve. I'm not ready to compromise my vision just to please someone else. If we want to attract people, let it be for the honesty of my work. Tim's disposition shifted from annoyance to something more sinister. Well, good luck with that. In this world, honesty doesn't fill galleries. I hope you don't regret your choice. As he turned away, Jack felt the weight of the moment settle over them. It wasn't just about the art anymore. It was about trust, integrity, and the fragility of dreams. What if he's right? Mia whispered, her confidence wavering as Tim faded into the crowd. Jack tightened his grip around her hand. He's not. The fire in his voice surprised even him. You will stand strong against this. You're better than this. But deep inside, Jack wondered, what if standing their ground meant losing everything? And what if they couldn't weather the storm brewing around them? Just as that thought settled in, a loud crash echoed from across the gallery, drawing their attention. A commotion broke out, and Jack's heart raced again. What now? The crash jolted Jack and Mia from their contemplation, sending them toward the source of the chaos. Their drinks nearly splashed from their hands as they maneuvered through the crowd, a tight knot of anxiety forming in Jack's stomach. The gallery that had felt so vibrant just moments ago was now buzzing with whispers and uncertain gasps. They reached the front, where a large sculpture had toppled from its pedestal, fragments of glass glistening like sharp stars on the polished floor. The air buzzed with murmurs, but it was the sight of the artist, a frantic man with wild hair and wide eyes trying to piece together the destruction that held Jack's attention. Oh no, not again, Mia muttered, her face paling. This wasn't supposed to happen. Let's see if he's okay, Jack urged, pulling her gently closer. They wove through the bystanders, all eyes glued to the chaos, and reached the disheveled artist. Are you all right? Mia asked, her voice steady as she regarded his distress. The artist looked up, his gaze unfocused, panic swirling in his eyes. I worked so hard on that piece it was supposed to mean something. His voice trembled, revealing the weight of his defeat. Jack felt a stab of sympathy. Art held everything: tender emotions, aspirations, and often, a fragile piece. It's just a thing, he said softly, though it felt disingenuous given the devastation around them. Mia stepped forward, a spark igniting in her eyes. What did that piece represent for you? Her question hung there, heavy with intent. The artist blinked, momentarily distracted from his loss. It was about rebirth, he started, his voice quaking. The cycle of destruction and creation. I wanted to show that beauty always rises from the ashes. Mia nodded, absorbing his words, perhaps searching for inspiration of her own amidst the turmoil. Then, can we help you rebuild? Jack was taken aback. Was Mia offering more than words? He could see her mind shift, the vulnerability she'd felt moments ago transforming into a determined urge to create from a moment of brokenness a lesson wrapped in chaos. Maybe I could take the pieces and make something new, the artist murmured, curiosity dawning on his face. Exactly. Mia's enthusiasm was infectious. It's still your art. Let us take what's left, and create something stronger. Jack marveled at her ability to find hope in destruction, even in that moment of uncertainty. Just then, a wave of applause erupted from the crowd, a ripple of support for the artist's struggle. Each clap echoed a message: you're not alone. Jack glanced around, seeing smiles forming in the faces of previously anxious onlookers. It reminded him how art transcended individual experience, connecting souls through shared emotion. But just as the artist began to smile back, Tim reappeared at Jack's side, eyes narrowed and heartless. This is ridiculous. There's no profit in this. He waved a dismissive hand at the scene. Life isn't just about profit, Tim, Jack said, irritation flaring. It's about connection, about resonating with others. Short-sighted, Tim retorted, his voice heavy with disdain. When reality hits, you'll see. Mia turned to Tim, the fire rekindled in her eyes. Then help me connect, Tim. Make it about something deeper. Perhaps this was a pivotal moment, one that could magnify Mia's passion or lead them deeper into conflict. The weight of uncertainty hung over them, ominous yet ripe with potential. As the emotions in the gallery spiraled, Jack felt his heart quickening again. The stakes were rising. Then, without warning, a piercing scream cut through the air, sending chills down their spines as people turned to the source, eyes wide with fear. What had they stumbled into? Would this chaos bring them closer to their dreams or tear them further apart? Jack's heart raced as he turned, scanning the gallery for the source of the scream. Panic spread, much like the shards of glass that littered the floor. The cacophony of murmurs rose, a wave of uncertainty washing over the crowd. Stay close, he whispered to Mia. He knew the tension between their hopes and fears was tangled in the air, thick as smoke. The onlookers parted as a woman stumbled forward, her face contorted in horror. Jack recognized her instinctively. She was the gallery director, a woman known for her poised demeanor. But now, her hands were clutching her phone against her chest, shaking as she fought back tears. Something has happened, she managed to choke out, her voice quivering. That scream, it was from the rooftop. What are you talking about? Tim interrupted, his skepticism a stark contrast to the growing concern in everyone else's eyes. It's Anna, something's wrong with her. She was up there, I just got the call, the director gasped, her breath short and uneasy. Jack's gut dropped. Anna was the director's daughter, a college student paralyzed in a tragic accident a couple of years back. They frequently spoke of her determination, her spirit brighter than anyone he'd ever met. This news felt like a punch to the gut. What happened? Mia asked, stepping closer, her worry mirroring his. Jack felt her hand tighten around his. She fell. The director's voice trembled. She was trying to get a better view of the exhibit. Maybe she stood too close to the edge. I didn't want her up there. Is she okay? Jack urged, his own anxiety spiraling. The director's silence hung heavy. I don't know. I need to get to her. She turned abruptly, her body language frantic. Before Jack could think, he found himself pulling Mia along. We should help her, he said with steady resolve. But we don't even know where to go. Mia protested, her eyes wide. We'll figure it out. Just trust me. They tore through the crowd, pushing past the whispers that bore witness to the unfolding chaos. The rooftop access door was locked. Jack hammered on it with his fist, adrenaline coursing through his veins. Come on! He shouted, glancing back to see Mia's worried face. Jack, wait! Mia called, reaching out to him. What if the director has another way? Then let us find her. He felt a surge of determination. This was about more than just art. This was a matter of life. Just then, the gallery director reappeared, her eyes wild but focused. This way. She beckoned them as she stumbled toward a set of emergency stairs behind a fire door. They hurried after her, each step heavier than the last. Jack could feel the urgency in his veins, the need to pull Anna back from whatever darkness awaited her. As they climbed, he couldn't shake the sinking feeling in his chest. Memories of Anna's laughter, her joy in creating, flooded his mind. What if they were too late? When they finally burst onto the rooftop, they found an unsettling scene. A small group of people surrounded Anna, who was lying on the cold concrete, her face pale. Jack's breath caught. Anna! He called, shock and fear mingling in his throat. But it was the look of sheer terror on the director's face that froze him. Time seemed to stretch, the world narrowing down to the only thing that mattered, Anna. Would she fight through the darkness? As they rushed forward, Jack could almost hear his own heartbeat echoing in his ears, drowning out the chaos around him. And then, in the silence that followed, as they approached the specter of fear, a soft whisper emerged from Anna's lips, a small spark of hope that gave Jack pause. Help me, she breathed. Could they truly pull her back from the brink? Would they be able to rekindle the light, or would they too be consumed by the shadows? The moment to act was upon them. Jack's heart raced as he dashed toward Anna. Her eyes were glazed, and the weak flutter of her voice pierced through the chaos of the rooftop. He fought to keep his panic at bay. "Stay with us, Anna," he urged, dropping to his knees beside her. The chatter of others blurred into a faint hum. All he could focus on was her. Mia knelt on the other side. "Can you hear us?" she asked gently, her voice trembling. "Please, just hold on." The gallery director, her face streaked with tears, fell to the ground next to Anna, pressing her hands against her daughter's. "My baby, please," her voice cracked, raw with despair. Jack felt a knot tightening in his stomach. Anna was always so full of life. She painted with colors that danced, creating beauty even in darkness. And now, all he could see was a fragile form lying motionless. "We need to check for a pulse," Mia said, her hands trembling as she moved to support Anna's head. Jack nodded, forcing himself to remember the basics. He cupped Anna's ankle with one hand, feeling the faint thrum of life still there. But how long would it last? "Anna, if you can hear us, squeeze my hand," he urged, desperation lacing his words. He looked into her eyes, willing her to respond, to fight. As time crawled, Anna slowly brought her fingers to life, and his heart leapt. It was weak, but it was something. "She's with us!" Jack exclaimed, a spark of hope igniting a flicker of strength inside him. He glanced at the director, her eyes widening with a mixture of relief and continued fear. "What do we do?" she cried, the urgency of her tone turning every word into a plea. "We need to keep her warm," Jack said, shaking off his panic to act. He pulled off his jacket and covered Anna with it, trying to shield her from the cold. He wanted to tell her everything would be okay, but the truth gnawed at him like a stray dog. How could he promise her that? Mia looked around, her eyes darting. "I'll call for help," she said, fumbling for her phone, her fingers trembling. "Do it," Jack called, never breaking eye contact with Anna. "Just stay with us." As the gallery director cradled Anna's head, her murmurs of love and encouragement washed over her like a soft blanket. Jack felt both hope and heartache. A sob caught in his throat as he thought of all the missed moments and dreams Anna had ahead of her. The tension was palpable, like electricity crackling in the air. Every second felt like an eternity, weighing on him. Were they enough? Could they give her what she needed to rise from this darkness? And just then, Anna whispered, "Mom," her eyes flickered to life, even if just for a moment, searching for strength in her mother. A palpable silence fell over the crowd. The gallery director leaned in closer, brushing Anna's hair back. "I'm here, sweet girl. I'm right here." Jack's heart swelled with a mix of fear and admiration. In those few words, Anna called upon everything that mattered: family, love, and resilience. The sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer, and anxiety swelled within Jack. How much time did they have left? Would it be enough? As the paramedics finally appeared, rushing onto the rooftop, Jack's voice broke through the noise. "We're not going anywhere, Anna. You have to fight." Would this be the moment they would bend the darkness back, or would they be shadowed by it forever? And with that thought, Jack took a deep breath, unsure of the outcome but resolute in his hope. Did that flicker of strength from Anna mean she was rallying? There was only one way to find out. Jack's mind raced as the paramedics set to work. They moved with practiced precision, their voices calm and authoritative amidst the chaos. They started assessing Anna, gently lifting her from the ground to a stretcher, and Jack's heart plummeted. He wanted to shout, to reach out, pull her back from the brink, and tell her everything would be all right. But the more he watched, the more he felt like an outsider in his own story. "Stay focused, Jack," he muttered to himself. Anna was still fighting. The moment the paramedics clipped the oxygen mask over Anna's mouth and began checking vitals, Jack held his breath. Her pulse, once weak, now struggled somewhere between fragility and persistence. It felt like the life within her was negotiating its own terms. Mia hovered nearby, having gathered enough courage to stand firm. They're going to take her to the hospital, she said, her voice a fragile whisper. We need to follow them. Jack nodded, trying to gather his thoughts. Following Anna was instinctual, but he felt a tug of dread in his chest. What if they didn't make it in time? They had become so close, intertwined through shared moments and unspoken feelings. The urgency of the situation clawed at him. Let us go, he said, determination flooding through him. He picked up his jacket that covered Anna's frail form, his only piece of comfort to cling to as the paramedics began wheeling her away. As they moved, Jack caught a glimpse of Anna's mother, her eyes locked on her daughter, full of anguish yet fiercely protective. She stepped beside him as they followed. They're going to take care of her, she said, her voice choked with emotion. We just need to believe. Her fingers trembled, still shaking from the rush of fear she battled. I believe, Jack replied, feeling the weight of their collective hope swarming around them like a shield. Yet hope felt so fragile today, the kind of hope that can turn to ash in an instant. Once they reached the ambulance, the paramedics worked swiftly, fitting Anna into the back. The sirens blared to life, but to Jack, it felt like they were heading toward a cliff. As the vehicle pulled away, Jack's heart ached. How could he remain strong for Anna when she was fading? Inside the ambulance, Anna's face looked so pale. Jack could hardly reconcile this vision with the vibrant artist he knew. The memory of Anna's laughter haunted him, a soft melody amidst everything else blaring around him. Stay with me, Anna, he whispered, pressing against the doors of the ambulance. He felt gray and lost, the world around him duller somehow. Soon, they arrived at the hospital. Jack jumped from the car, following the stretcher into the busy ER, pushing through the crowd as hurried nurses and doctors rushed past. Each person felt like a barrier between him and Anna. They rushed Anna through double doors, separating them, and Jack's hands clenched into fists. No longer able to see her, the uncertainty slithered inside him. It was twisted in his gut, an unwelcome companion. Mr. Carson? A doctor emerged, looking serious, but there was also a touch of kindness in his eyes. We need to talk. Jack's pulse quickened. Is she? He started, but the words felt heavy, almost impossible to utter. It's too soon to say, the doctor replied, gauging Jack's reaction. We're doing everything we can. We need to know more about her medical history. Questions spiraled around in his head as he struggled to answer. Jack felt a sense of urgency, the need to protect Anna from everything, including the uncertainty of what might come next. But with each thread spinning out of control, one passionate thought burned brightly inside him. Wouldn't he let her go without a fight? What is your connection to Anna? The doctor continued, searching for clarity. You could help us. More than you know. Jack took a deep breath, ready to reveal everything he had kept locked away. I can show you who Anna really is if you'll just listen to me. Would his words be enough to guide them toward saving her? Jack's voice trembled, yet there was a fierceness in his determination. Anna is not just a patient. She is an artist. She sees the world through colors and emotions. You need to understand her spirit, her dreams. That girl draws out beauty from even the darkest places. You can't just look at her medical history. You need to see the person she is. The doctor's expression softened, as if the weight of Jack's words broke through the clinical separation they'd held until now. We will take that into account. But we need to focus on her medical needs right now. I'll do my best, I promise. Jack nodded, a mix of hope and fear swirling in his chest. While Anna was out of view, he could still feel her presence, propelling him with purpose. Thank you, he whispered, swallowing back emotions stubbornly rising to the surface. As the doctor turned to leave, Mia appeared, her face pale but resolute, clinging tightly to her phone. Did you hear anything? She asked, worry etched into her features. They're doing everything they can, Jack reassured her, though doubt gnawed at him. We need to keep believing in her, just like her mom said. They settled into the waiting room, a sterile place filled with other anxious yet hopeful families. The ticking of the wall clock echoed, amplifying the weight of each moment stretching on forever. Jack leaned back, letting his emotions spill. I can't help thinking we might lose her, Mia. We've come so far, I can't bear that. She turned, genuine compassion in her eyes. You're not alone in this. We're both here for her. You taught us that we are all more than our struggles, that we can create meaning, no matter the circumstances. Nodding, Jack began a mental inventory. Instinctively, he grabbed Mia's hand. Your art, it transformed us tonight. It inspired everyone to see deeper. That's how we'll honor Anna, by sharing her story too. Mia's eyes lit with an idea, a spark igniting hope. I can create something in Anna's honor, art that reflects the light she brings into this world. If we can remind everyone of who Anna truly is, it can help bridge the gap for the doctors, the community, everyone. Pain shifted to determination in Jack's heart. Let us go public. We can rally support. People love Anna, they need to know she is fighting. Mia nodded vivaciously, already picturing the campaign swirling through her mind. We could create a video series showcasing her artwork, her journey, the struggles, but also the beauty. They will see Anna's strength. With a sense of excitement bubbling between them, the wait was suddenly more than just about sitting idle in fear. It was bustling with energy, a promise to do everything they could. They rallied friends from the gallery, eager to help. Jack picked his phone, drafted a message about Anna's accident, and reached out to the community he now realized was abundant and resilient. Hours passed, and finally the doctor emerged, wiping his hands on a towel. Anna's stable now. We're moving her to recovery. It was like a floodgate of relief washed over Jack. Thank you? The words barely captured the gratitude swelling in his heart, but they wouldn't stop here. Moments later, they set about crafting a plan. They secured storytelling events, art displays for Anna's work, and called to action for momentum in her favor. Voices flooded social media, rallying together, capturing memories and sharing hopes. Days rolled on. Jack found himself reassuring Anna's mother again, hearing fragile yet spirited whispers from Anna. Where are you guys? She'd ask, her voice barely above a whisper. We're right here, Jack would reply each time, holding Mia's hand tightly, their bond strengthening with each word. We keep building your story to the world. You have a voice, Anna. Each interaction brought forth the lush character of Anna they adored. Every day, they filled her walls with artistic expressions, brainstorming together about what tomorrow might bring. Slowly, she was healing. Mia's campaign brought together a heartwarming exhibition. They showcased Anna's work alongside pieces made tribute to her journey. The event was alive with laughter, tears, and stories just like they dreamed. People filled the gallery, discovering resilience on canvas. And there, showcased amidst it all, were Anna's paintings, the colors impossibly vibrant, bursting forth with hope. As they reached the exhibition's climax, Jack felt their collective spirit ignite. Remember this moment, he said, glancing over at Mia as they stood shoulder to shoulder. This is where community becomes family. Where art breathes life. Where we become a symphony of strength, Mia added, their resolve mirrored in each other's heart. Amidst all this, Anna's laughter rang out, now deeper and stronger. She called to the crowd, I'm still here. It may have taken a storm, but I choose the light in painting. Tears blurred Jack's vision as he caught the gaze of the gallery director. They shared a proud smile, knowing together they had fought back against despair. This was not just about art. It was about showing the world that life, with all its fragile beauty, can be pieced back together. In that moment of triumph, Jack knew it was all worth it. They hadn't just found Anna, they had rediscovered themselves. The end now. If you felt this story, you need to subscribe now. Don't miss the next exclusive stories that shape our hearts. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep the love alive. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible journey. We want to hear from you. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means everything.